What's good? I got a lot I want to discuss in this particular video, so let's go ahead and dive in. So I want to entitle this one Semen, Retention, and Looks, Money, and Status. You know, people need to understand that energy rules everything, and your value is determined to the degree in which you know yourself. The more deeper that you know yourself, and the more aware that you become of who you are, what you're capable of, and what you're here to do, that essentially will express itself as you go about, living your life, because your purpose reigns preeminence. Like it's the most important thing, and being a high value man takes work. Being a high value male requires you to look at yourself, both in your darkness and your light, and accept yourself completely. You know what I'm saying? And doing the work so that you can attain peace within yourself. A lot of guys, when you look at from the red pill community to the black pill to incels to nofap to what's the other one? MGTOW. A lot of them are neglecting the whole concept of going within. A lot of these individuals that find themselves in either community, instead of it just coming from the aspect of gaining knowledge and seeing what they can acquire from different viewpoints and just seeking to gain knowledge and expand their view of the world, a lot of them attach on to these different ideologies. And instead of becoming more free, they become more confined in a fixed, strict way of thinking, known as dogma. You find dogma in religions, in sects and organizations that in a more underlying and hidden way have controlled and restricted ways of thinking that enable you from being aware of higher possibilities than what you perceive to be true. Because you got to understand that a lot of things are situational. A lot of things are based on what's going on at hand and you being able to assess it for what it is. So some guys within the incel and the black pill communities think that it's all about looks, that women just want guys that are models, chiseled chin, you know what I'm saying, got muscles, got money and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But why are these guys not understanding spirituality? Why have you not decided to step back and look at what you need to work on inwardly? Energy trumps all the looks, money, and status. Because with the law of intention, if your intention is not right when you do or acquire looks, money, or status, you're still going to be at the same place that you were to begin with. That's empty, lost, and unfulfilled. You know what I'm saying? Because what have you forgotten? You have negated in all of that your purpose and being centered and being aligned with who you are. All of those things are missing self-knowledge. You feel me? When you're talking about semen retention on a basic level, you're trying to rid yourself of being controlled by something outside of you, period. You want to go back to that state when you were as a child and you weren't at the whim of your sexual emotions, your emotions and your sexual energy, But you have to be able to step back. And it's just like, stop being so dictated and influenced by everything around you. You know, your energy and your vibration rules and is over everything. Like, people don't understand vibration and how different aspects of vibration show itself practically. Like in a person being authentic, a person setting boundaries, a person being honest about who they are in both their positive and negative characteristics. Like me, I can get very angry. I can get very angry and I want to hit stuff. That's what it is. I'm not making any excuses. I know where that comes from. I know that I can channel that energy and utilize it in means of self-defense and a proactive measure. But I don't need to be out going willy-nilly and just being destructive, you know. But a lot of guys don't realize that the key is in the self-work. The key is the going within, focusing on yourself, loving and being complete and accepting yourself. You know what I'm saying? And working towards those things that you want to achieve, and really finding happiness from creating the life that you desire. You know, and a lot of people forget that. We've got coaches out here that can help you, with dating and relationships and you know what I'm saying, and like life coaches that help you with the self. They're out there. You know what I'm saying? But instead of looking to these things, these material things, and joining these little groups, and then developing a savior complex, you know what I'm saying? Like looking to these individuals as your savior, and your sole basis of understanding the world and yourself is through them, you're just still lost. You're still lost. Like the power is the working that you do on yourself. Not being concerned and caught up with what the next man is doing and what he looks like and comparing yourself to them, because we all fall victim to that. We all fall victim to that because of being just unconscious and just not being aware of setting boundaries and guarding ourselves, you know? And so when it comes to your value, semen retention is you remembering your value. I'm not talking about being a monk. I'm not talking about, forcing yourself to do something or live in a way that really is not who you are, down in the core of yourself, in the core of your being. But you have to put yourself in a position where you can gain that knowledge of who you are and what you're meant to do. You know? Because as I stated before, there's a certain advantage that women have over men. There's a certain advantage that men have over women. You know? But the abundance that you will have in life comes from the abundance that you develop within by being a complete and whole person. Looks, money, and status. People are so caught up in looks, money, and status. I want to get this $1 million so I can get me a Lamborghini. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or I want to, just you only being happy when you achieve some grandiose vision. Now, granted, it's different if you want to accomplish a goal. Like, hey, I want to get me a new car. I want to get me a new place. I want to have a better source of income. That makes sense because you got to be able to take care of yourself. You got to be able to take care of yourself and do what you got to do for you, But women and materials shouldn't reign preeminence over your relationship with who you are within. Because if you're seeking to attain those things, then you have to be aligned with who you are, or you're going to get those things and still feel empty. And it's going to be as if you've accomplished nothing. And you're still going to be looking for something to fill that void because you never filled that void with what? Self-knowledge, wisdom, knowing who you are, and being edified by that knowledge. And this really just falls along the lines of just having principles, and making better decisions, and living a life that's congruent with who you are at the core and at the essence. You know, your energy really rules everything. How you feel about yourself rules everything. A woman should not determine how you feel about yourself. You know, especially like, you know, if you're able to have a conversation with somebody, you know, you're able to, when you and a person have a disagreement, you're able to sit down and address the situation and come to an understanding. You know, how you go about your interactions with people on a day-to-day basis. You know, standing your ground as a man, but not feeling the need to impose your worldview on any and everybody. You know what you're here to do. You know the type of vibration and the energy that you want to give out when you step into different places and when you talk to people. You know, your principle, the core of what you stand on, why you view things the way that you do, why you feel about things the way that you do. You know, and when you speak on those things, you actually stand in line with them, and you don't let somebody disrespect you. Especially when you know that you've been going about things in a certain way where you've always respected them. You know, your value increases when you have developed an inner understanding of yourself to the point where you can walk and you can move in confidence. You know what you bring to the table. You know what talents and gifts that you have to bring to the world. You know, and you understand that it can help people and that you are providing and giving back to humanity. That's where you find that peace. And people are going to feel that. You know, people are going to feel that because you did the inner work. You focus on developing certain skill sets, teaching yourself something new. You strive to learn more, to reach more people, to step outside your comfort zone, to be a man of value who stood on his honor and his integrity. You know, don't let people take you outside of your character. Somebody don't want to approach the situation the appropriate way, got a problem with you but doesn't address you about it. And you were open to any conversation. You were willing to apologize for what you done wrong, but they didn't address you. That falls on them. It doesn't fall on you. What you're doing for you to get yourself in a better place, and you got to disassociate yourself from everybody. You do that, family, friends, all of that, to get yourself right so that you can be at peace. Strive for attaining that inner peace, from being able to face yourself and trust, and because of that, you trust yourself going forward to manifest those things that you desire. But it's all about energy, because you can get whatever you want with the right energy, with the right frame of mind, the most attractive females, more lucrative offers, you know, because you're not caught up and trapped in the physical. Looks, money, and status is all physical. Spirit and spirituality and energy rules everything. So it's like, if you want to change anything, you got to get to the core. You got to get to the spiritual essence of it and understand that. Because you will realize with that, with the energetic principles, it's not all about how you look. It's not about the money you got. It's not about your status. Because when your energy is different, and when a person comes in contact with you, and you may view them being out of your league, but you stood on your principles and you were able to accept yourself, you know, and be at peace with yourself because of that, and you knew that you were striving towards more, that has an impact and it's able to change. You never know what you can change just from standing in your self-knowledge, but you have to have acquired. It's not something that you can fake. You have to know. So do what you need to do so that you can know yourself to the fullest degree and be at peace with yourself. Because that's where the true value is. Value is something that is attained within, and then it reflects without. You cannot buy your value. You cannot buy your value. You cannot go and get it from someone else. It has to be an inner realization. That is enlightenment. That is enlightenment. Do what you have to do so you can attain that enlightenment of yourself, because that's all you're ever looking for, is yourself and your truest self to show itself to you. That's what it really means to be high value, because that is where power creation, manifestation emanates from. It all comes from within you. Move forward.